Over the past 30 years, economic, cultural and social exchanges between the two sides across the Taiwan Strait have reached an unprecedented level, and these have laid a solid foundation for the improvement of cross-strait relations and peaceful development. Now you're watching live footage from the Taiwan Affairs Office of the State Council.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the first press conference of Taiwan Affairs Office of the State Council. On behalf of the news agency and Mr. An Fengshan, my fellow spokesperson, I'd like to wish you a very good new year. The year 2017, we witnessed a very complex twists and turns between cross-strait relations because the Taiwan Authority has done nothing to tackle this separatist activities in the Taiwan region, which have threatened the cross-strait peace and development and hurting the interest of the Taiwan people. Faced with the complex situation, we carried through President Xi Jinping's thoughts on cross-strait relations and carry out the central government's deployment and do everything we can to safeguard the peace and stability of cross-strait relations and enhance communication across the strait. We stick to the One China policy and the 92 consensus. We take forceful measures to tackle all kinds of separatist activities. We strengthen connections with Taiwan compatriots who recognize 1992 consensus and strengthen the dialogues with them, as well as enhance the cross-strait relations and safeguard the cross-strait stability. We stick to the fact that we need to do real things and solve real problems for the Taiwan compatriots, and 20 measures have been implemented. We enlarge enrollment and expand the channel for Taiwan students to come to mainland, and also provide favorable conditions for Taiwan and facilitate the implementation of Taiwan students. And also we open the channels for to granting the professional certificate to the employees from Taiwan. In all train stations and airplanes, we set up machines that can recognize the travel permit for Taiwan residents, and also made it available for Taiwan compatriots to get their housing reservation, housing deposit. And we created 21,000 new employment positions for the Taiwan people. We also provided services to more than 1,400 groups from Taiwan. According to President Xi Jinping's letter to his congratulation note to the Business Association of Cross-Strait Relations, we've made it clear that we fully support the business expansion of Taiwan business people in the mainland. In the past 30 years, we continue to support their market expansion in mainland, and as well as establish special development zone for them, and also create platform for them to participate in a Belt and Road Forum. Therefore, new improvement have been made in the investment trade aspect, and also we expand cooperation in trade front. And last year, our trade volume amounted to 199 billion RMB, which is a historical high. We facilitate the usage of Taiwan-sourced funds, and the total amount is 4.7 billion. We also facilitated communications on all fronts. We held the 9th Cross-Strait Forum and the Zijingshan Forum between entrepreneurs across the two sides of the strait, and also research seminar on the history of war against Japanese aggressions and the 30 years anniversary of the cross-strait relationships. So there are many activities in the civil society between our young people, and in the cultural, education, sports, religion, industrial, agriculture, and ethnic groups. There are many activities being carried out in the last year. And in the TV programs, the TV shows, as well as the published books and e-commerce are warmly welcomed by the Taiwan residents, especially young people. The first round of baseball forum, of cross-strait baseball event has become very popular with more than 500 people tune in to watch the games. And also in a religious front, we carry out parade activity has been carried out also in Taiwan. And more than 8 million people from more than 5 million people from Taiwan visited the mainland, which also is a historical high. The year 2018, we will continue to face a lot of complexities and complications and risks. However, we're fully capable and confident to cope with those challenges and move towards the right directions and promote the cross relations. We will continue to carry out President Xi Jinping's thoughts on the socialism with the Chinese characteristics and the deployment of the central government, stick to the one China policy and 9-2 consensus, and tackle and guard against any forms of separatist activities. We continue to expand economic and social cooperation across the straits and integrate social and economic relations and share development opportunities with their compatriots and encourage them to study, to expand business, to live and employ and find jobs here in the mainland, and provide a level playing ground for them, and promote Chinese culture together, and promote the healthy development of cross relations, as well as the peaceful reunification process. Now the floor is open to questions. I'm with Xinhua News Agency. The mainland has launched a new connection links, but the Taiwan authority believe that it's against the previous agreement. What is your comment on that? The M503 flight line and its connecting routes, it's launched on January the 4th, and you can find the relative information on the Civil Aviation Association's official website. I also give a lot of additional interpretation of this flight. First of all, this flight is crucial to the communication that connects Taiwan with the southeast region of China, and it's an important flight. So the M503 is crucial in order to address the surging pressure in this region and also better meet the demand in this region. It can also facilitate personnel communication across the strait, so it's in line with the interest of people on both sides of the strait. The traffic between across the strait is becoming more and more busy, so the opening up of the airline it's of high significance. Without this airline, it will affect the convenience of this travel. And last year, we saw a very high delay rate in this airline, and the punctuation rate is only 46%, with an average of more than 100 minutes of delay time. Therefore, M503 and its connecting routes will further ease the pressure in this region. And also, M503 airline is nearer to the mainland side in the Taiwan Taiwan Strait. Therefore, this airline should be considered a regular and internal affair of the mainland. It does not affect in any way Taiwan Airlines, so it does not infringe their interest in any way. So before this airline is launched, we take their interest in serious consideration and conducted many exchanges. We guarantee that upon the launching of the airline, we give them a head notice, but it's not mean that opening up such an airline needs the permission of the Taiwan authority. Despite that fact, upon the launching of the airline, we sent notification to the Taiwan authority, but they claim that this is against the 2015 consensus, which is completely false.